Okay, what up ladies and gents, it's your favorite Asian robot right here, hopefully your favorite official content creator for the first Descendant, and today I'm here to talk about reactor farming. Reactor farming sucks. Let me say that straight. Reactor farming sucks. It is actually quite difficult to get a god-rolled reactor, and I want to talk about this experience today. As you guys know, many builds require very good rolls on your reactor. What people have been complaining to me about recently is that reactor farming is horrifying. This is pretty much exacerbated by the higher level void erosion purges, the defilers, the abyss bosses that are planned in future. All this kind of stuff is making people lose hope because sometimes they just can't get their hands on a good reactor. And a reactor is pretty much everything if you are relying on a skill-based build. The gun-based builds are slowly getting stronger, especially with weapon cores and things like that, but at the end of the day, skill-based builds are still the champ for several things, and people want to be able to play skill-based Descendants if they want to. However, a lot of them feel very limited, very restricted by the fact that they can't get a good reactor. How bad is the situation? How bad is the situation? Well, aside from what you've heard from people already, let me actually show you with evidence and data how bad the situation is. Now, before we get into that, if you like my content, don't forget to register me as your favorite creator. Link is in the video description. Now, before we get into the actual results of the test, let me take a moment to show you how we farm reactors, okay? Because I think it's pretty important. Let me remove my camera there so I can show you. Once you get into hard mode, if you open up the map, do you see that there's something down the bottom called difficulty level rewards? You can see that right down the bottom, yeah? If you press the button that takes you into difficulty level rewards, it takes you into this particular screen. Now, in hard difficulty, you can actually filter. Now, every area will have a type of either reactor or component that drops. There's something that says all rewards here. You can actually check out the schedule on a week-to-week basis, what will drop where, okay? Now, this particular week, for example, let's say I'm looking for a Haley reactor. I need a chill singular reactor for Haley, and it drops in either the fractured monolith, which means this particular region, so you can do any of the missions here and you'll get a Haley reactor, in addition to the natural drop that occurs on that map, or I can go to the abandoned zone. The abandoned zone has the Bunny Road environment contamination zone, which is fantastic. And this week you can get a Haley reactor there that is chill singular. Okay, now the natural drop here is non-attribute tech, but we excluded that from any of our tests. And basically, if you go by this menu, you can always find out where stuff is each week. Now, for example, Hatchery has electric tech, so those of you looking for nest reactors, you can try the Remnant, or you can try the Hatchery. I recommend the Hatchery. Upper Hatchery was really not bad. That being said, it can take a while to farm reactors depending on the length of the mission. Now, the Bunny Road is already one of the fastest missions in the game. In fact, we have just learned a technique of completing it even faster. You guys will see this on my TikTok, which is to use Ines. Although it is the Bunny Road, Bunny's actually slower than Ines. Ines is actually a lot faster at completing this if you know the methodology. Once again, it'll be on my TikTok, so make sure you check that out. But anyway, when we went there to farm Haley's reactor, here is the results. Now, pay no attention to the run number, okay? Of course, spreadsheet. I'll remove my camera and discuss everything in a second, but pay no attention to the run amount. At first, I was tracking it every 5 runs. Then, basically, all the runs started blurring, so I just, every interval, like every 6 or 7 runs, or sometimes those 3 or 4 runs, it just depended. Like, every so often, I would just check how many gold rolls, ideal rolls, all that kind of stuff. So, please pay no attention to the run number, because I did about 3 hours, and after 3 hours of reactor farming, I would say it was accurate up to about 35, and then it all just blurred into one. So anyway, let me remove my camera, and we'll go through the results. Okay, so during these runs, what I did was I tabulated the number of gold rolls I got. Gold rolls means that the reactor, regardless of whether it had 1 gold roll and 1 purple roll or whatever, or 2 gold rolls, it counted under gold rolls, okay? So it just means that one of the rolls was gold. Now, I excluded anything with a blue roll from this, so blue rolls don't exist, and I also only counted the reactor I was searching for, which means chill singular. Most of these numbers would actually be double if I were to include the natural drop of the non-attribute tech, but again, when reactor farming, there's always going to be a natural drop, which you're not exactly searching for. So I excluded that from the results. Focusing only on the chill singular reactor for Haley, I had gold rolls, ideal rolls. Ideal rolls means that this is what I'm actually searching for the build that I want. So additional skill attack versus Colossus and skill critical hit damage. I was searching for that. And if I get an ideal roll, I put a 1 here. Okay. Double gold rolls means any reactor with a double gold roll. Whether or not it is a useful roll or totally useless didn't matter. I just counted how many double gold rolls I got. God rolls refers to a double gold roll that is actually useful to the character. That being said, it may not be an ideal roll. Just because it's a God roll doesn't mean it's ideal roll. For example, ideal roll is chill attack, additional skill attack versus Colossus and skill critical hit damage, right? But I could have gotten a God roll on, say, chill attack, chill skill power boost, and singular skill power boost. Like, they could have been maxed out, so that would have been a God roll. So I counted the number of God rolls I got, all this kind of stuff, and useful rolls is a running total of basically how many ideal rolls I got. So throughout this entire process, I just want to show you the end result first before we discuss this. I only ever got 2 reactors. Out of all that I farmed, 2 reactors that were actually useful. And even then, none of them were God rolled, FYI. So let's go through this. During the first few runs, I was like, the highest number I ever got in terms of gold rolls was 12 in total. That was when I had 1 ideal roll, 2 double gold rolls, and 2 God rolls. All right. After that, the results were a horrendous mixed bag. For example, this run, I got 5 gold rolls, 0 ideal rolls, 1 double gold roll, 0 God rolls. The number of double gold rolls that I was getting is between 0 to 3. All right, it never really broke that. But even then, a lot of the time that I was getting double gold rolls, a lot of the time they were not God rolls. And ideal rolls, like I had 2 runs literally near the start where I got some ideal rolls and then literally nothing. I never ever got an additional skill attack versus Colossus or with skill critical hit damage. So what are these results telling you? These results are telling you that after 3 hours of farming reactors on one of the fastest possible maps, literally Bunny Road, or rather, if you do Bunny Road with an S, it now only takes 25 seconds to clear it on average. Okay, and you can do this very consistently. 25 seconds. That means every 5 runs would only be taking me literally 25 seconds multiplied by 5. That is 50, and then 25. So 75 plus 50. Okay, that's 100 seconds, 125 seconds. Okay, sorry, I do math in a weird way. But yes, 125 seconds, which is effectively 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Every 2 minutes and 5 seconds, I could have just checked my results and I was still getting garbage. This is how bad it was. 3 hours of farming reactors, and I got 2 rolls that were so-called ideal, and neither of them were a God roll. So it could not replace what I have now. This is how bad the reactor farming is. It's not fun for players to have to do this. And if you don't happen to get, and like I said, the Bunny Road is literally one of the fastest farming missions in the game. If you do not get the Bunny Road, do you know that it takes an insane amount of time to actually get a reactor? I know people who've been complaining to me that they've been trying to get an S reactor for 3 weeks now, and they still haven't gotten a good one. This actually makes people less likely to keep playing. I don't understand why the devs want to do this. What is actually stopping the rolls from being good? Well, there are several problems with the reactor farming, aside from the fact that not every mission is consistent in terms of how much loot you can get, because the devs themselves said, you know, initially when this game came out, they said, oh, we want it so that basically this game, when you're playing it, you know, different missions will have different levels of loot drops, so there'll be some missions that are better than others. The devs themselves put that into the game. That's fine. But the problem is that your reactor rewards are spread out throughout all these missions. Some weeks are going to suck for people. And that means that for that whole week, they cannot get shit done unless they're willing to sacrifice an inordinate amount of time. This is not fun. This is not fun for people, because if somebody wants something, they're going to have to wait for a good week. And that's literally another layer of RNG there. It's, again, like I said, not fun for people, which is causing people to put down the game. Furthermore, although they have improved reactor rolls from before, why is my singular reactor rolling fusion skill? This is no different to when a chill reactor would roll fire. They've removed the fact that chills can roll other elements, but why am I rolling a fusion skill on a singular reactor? This makes no sense. Dimension skill gold on a singular reactor. This dilutes the loot pool of an already diluted loot pool. And the fact of the matter is that many reactors drop. You'll be seeing lots of gold reactors drop, but a lot of them have blue rolls. Blue rolls get instantly deleted because nobody's keeping that. Nobody's going to keep that. We're only going to look for at most purple if we have to compromise. But even then, we don't want that. We want the gold rolls. If somebody is farming for 3 hours for a reactor, they should be able to at least get some kind of combination of stuff that they can use. And I should have, after 3 hours, more than just 2 useful reactors for the build that I want. It's not making sense to me, and this is considering the fact that I was doing the fastest possible mission in the game. I've emphasized that multiple times, but I'll emphasize it again. It is the fastest possible mission in the game that I'm doing just to get these results. Reactor farming is not fun right now, okay? And I want to know why the devs are insistent on this being a system that they want to have in the game. Look, my solution is simple. Remove this kind of weird roll from the system. Hang on, let me just remove that again. This one, see, fusion skill power boost. Why is this in my system? Remove this. I don't need this. We don't need this because this is a singular reactor. If you're getting a reactor that is singular, you're obviously emphasizing a skill that's singular. You're not going to go off and go get some other skill because your power boost ratio is going to be a lot lower than what you want anyway. It's just not ideal. So genuinely, the devs have to change the system. I believe that the reactor farming system must change. Otherwise, we are going to keep losing players because reactors are crucial to pretty much any build. Even a build that doesn't use an important reactor like a gun-based build, you still need ideal rolls. For example, Glaze still needs gold skill cooldown, gold duration in order to have limitless ammo. You can't reach that state without that kind of reactor, and those kinds of reactors don't just come by randomly. So I have to say, this is probably not the way, all right? I hope that the devs can take a look at this again, because I feel that if this, which is a major gripe for players, was removed a little bit, or made a little bit easier, then it would feel less punishing to actually play and enjoy the game, because you want the build, you want to be able to enjoy the game, but you've got to slog for X number of hours before you've got to do that. And, F2B style, you've also got to slog for the character before that. It just feels like a major jam up. So my personal opinion is we got to change reactor farming. If you guys share the same opinion, you guys share the same thoughts, please let me know in the comments of this video. I would love to hear it. Thank you very much for watching this. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. All right. Enjoyed the show, enjoyed the video. Sorry, I get confused between my live stream and my video sometimes, but hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think, because honestly, this is, problematic for me. All right. And here is a big thank you to all the top supporters for February. We're already hot in this month. So top tipper is CG Mayhem. Top super chatter is Lawbreaker. Top super chat list includes CU Yuri, Sir Tommy, Per Crab, Raffi. And top channel membership gifter is Joe D. Wilkins. Thank you guys. And Arcane Silver 300. Thank you guys so much for all you do for me. And I will see you guys in the next one. Don't do anything weird while I'm gone. And let me know what you think of reactor farming. Because honestly, right now, I think it sucks. I think it sucks. And I think we need a change on reactor farming.